Now that is one exhaust note that I can listen to all day long because it resonates with the soul, with the feel, emotion, performance of a proper race-bred tuned machine. It was back in 2017 when Triumph rolled out the final edition of the Daytona 675R, a very thoroughbred race machine that was loved by motorcyclists across the globe. And it was the last of the super sport middleweight fed motorcycle that the brand had to offer until today. Say hello to the all-new Daytona 660. Now this one is based on the Trident 660 platform, but the company has done a lot of changes to bring it as close as possible to the original Daytona 675R. Now what all are the changes that have been done to this motorcycle to make it a completely thoroughbred race machine that can be ridden on the track and at the same time also be ridden on daily basis on the street? I will let you know all of that in this video, but before we get going, if you're new to our channel, do subscribe to Car and Bike for the latest news, reviews and updates from the world of cars and bikes from Car and Bike.
The Daytona 660 packs a striking design with clean and smooth lines and a distinctive twin LED headlamp setup with the air intake in the center. The fairing extends towards the sculpted fuel tank, which ends with a compact tail section highlighting the bike's sporty nature. The motorcycle has been built around a steel tubular perimeter frame with a bolt-on subframe and a lightweight swing arm. The motorcycle has a curb weight of 201 kg, fuel tank capacity is 14 liters, while wheelbase stands at 1425 mm. In terms of features, the Daytona 660 is equipped with a multi-function color TFT screen for instrumentation. For rider aids, it gets 3 ride modes: road, rain and sport, and is also equipped with dual channel ABS and switchable traction control.
When speaking of super sports, it's all about performance and agility, where comfort takes the backseat. But in the case of the modern super sports, manufacturers have included a certain degree of comfort and ergonomics to make these machines more convenient to ride on day-to-day basis. Let's take a look at how the ergonomics are set on the new Daytona 660. Now I am 5'7", and as you can see, I'm able to easily swing my leg over the motorcycle to get astride. I'm able to flat foot completely. There is not such trouble in terms of that. The seat is comfortable. There is enough contouring to get your feet in, closer, keep them close to the bike and have a flat footing. So I don't think shorter riders, slightly shorter riders than me also would have a problem to get on this motorcycle. Apart from that, speaking of the rider triangle, you have got a 2-piece handlebar, you got rear set foot pegs, the seat height is set at 810 mm. So the overall riding stance that you get on this motorcycle is a proper committed stance, but yet it is not very aggressive. You can ride this motorcycle on day-to-day basis, but yes, there is a certain degree of commitment that you have to keep in check because obviously it is a super sport. In addition to that, Triumph has also given special attention to how the body panels have been shaped. For instance, the tank has been nicely contoured wherein you can keep your knee nicely positioned when you're cornering. Same goes for the bump which is there behind the seat, so you can scoot all the way back when you are ducked down and riding the motorcycle. The handlebars aren't that aggressively positioned, that means they aren't that low and that committed, so it becomes pretty easy and is manageable when it comes to your daily riding within the city. And yes, in my opinion, I think that Triumph has hit the nail right when achieving a perfect balance between committed and a comfortable stance to use this motorcycle on day-to-day basis. In an effort to produce more performance from the Trident 660's mill, the engineers at Triumph have done an extensive job on the internals of this motor. Now this one comes with a new crankshaft, new pistons, a new cylinder head with new exhaust valves, and also with 3 throttle bodies instead of 1 throttle body on the Trident 660. Along with that, the airbox is also larger and the exhaust system is also reworked to let this engine breathe and produce all that power with maximum efficiency. Now with all that performance, you also have more heat being generated. So for that, the radiator has been repositioned and is now larger in size to dissipate the heat generated more effectively. And while those are the changes on the engine, even the gearbox has been significantly tweaked to match the added performance and torque produced. The 6-speed gearbox now comes with a new input and output shaft. The first and second gear have a taller gear ratio, and paired to that is also a new slip and assist clutch. Unlike the 675R, which came with an aluminum chassis and top spec cycle parts, Triumph obviously had to cut corners to keep the cost in check with the Daytona 660. Over here, you now get a steel chassis with a steel plate swing arm, and along with that, for the cycle parts, you get non-adjustable show bar units. And while you only get preload setting for the rear, the overall setup is pliant for soaking up bumps and potholes on city roads pretty well. Considering all the time that I got to spend with the motorcycle to ride it on different terrains and road surfaces, dealing with bumps and potholes, I got to say that Triumph has done a neat job in terms of setting up the damping aspect of this motorcycle. It isn't too harsh, but at the same time isn't too soft as well. It gives you a nice smooth ride wherein there are some bumps that you will feel obviously, but it isn't something that is bone jarring, that will upset you or take away the ride experience. And since it's a super sport, you are looking at a committed riding experience. Frankly, you aren't spending much time thinking about all those factors because it's performance and handling which this motorcycle does really well. With a slightly longer swing arm and a more aggressive rake angle, this motorcycle really darts into that corner the moment you have traced that line, and it sticks to it like glue. Speaking of that, the tires do a fantastic job. Over here you get these Michelin Power 6 tires which really trace the line well and they stick to the line that you intend to carry through corners. And to go with that, you have these really good brakes that have a lot of bite and progression and give you all the feedback that you need when you grab onto those anchors to shed speed. After spending all the time riding this motorcycle, I've got to say Triumph has indeed put in a lot of hard work in putting this machine together. It packs lots of power, it has the agility, it has the looks, and it ticks all the boxes for a proper super sport of the modern era. Yes, there are places that Triumph had to cut corners to make this motorcycle fit in the price bracket to compete against the rivals. But even that being said, as a machine, as a complete whole unit, this machine, in my books, does its due respect when it comes to carrying the Daytona tag, in coming across as a modern super sport that fulfills all the boxes to make it a fun machine and a powerful one that every experienced motorcyclist and a budding motorist who is upgrading from a sub 500cc segment to a middleweight segment on all parameters. It has the power, it has the agility, it has the brakes, everything is on point. There are few niggles that I mentioned, but they aren't something that will defer you from considering to buy this motorcycle. Yes, there is the sticker price, which is 9.72 lakh, which is quite significant when you're considering for a middleweight super sport. But given the parameters and the joy and everything that Triumph has to offer with this motorcycle, it will be an investment that'll be worth, and it will give you joys and lots of memories for many and many miles to come. I hope you have liked this video. If you have, do give it a share and do share it with someone who's planning to enter in this super sport segment of motorcycles. I am Janak and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching Carandbike.